Welcome to not only the home of British motorsport, but also the birthplace of the Formula One World Championship. It's race day here at Silverstone, a classic on the calendar, and it's time for the British Grand Prix. Silverstone Circuit then is 3.6 miles long, has a total of 18 corners, and of course is no stranger to the rain. There won't be any DRS available in these conditions, but the Wellington and Hangar Straights are still good opportunities to tuck into the slipstream and make a pass. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and starting next to them is George Russell. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Stroll, Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Ricciardo, Perez, Sainz, Ocon, Oscar Piastri, Leclerc, Albon, Tsunoda, Hülkenberg, Joe, Behrman, Vesti, and the Rainmaster. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me here today in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. Now, I'll be generous here. It's not that long ago that you were racing and entertaining us on a Sunday. But in the years since, the sport has changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has, Crofty. You know, the cars have got bigger, they're heavier. But critically, there's more downforce to play with as well now. There was about 4 tons of downforce on the car at 300 kilometres an hour when I drove. You're now looking more towards 5 tons of downforce. So there's a big difference in performance. But because of that, the car being heavier and bigger, you've got to drive in a smoother way. You've got to look after it a bit more. You've got to nurse it through the slow-speed corners more. They were much more nimble, agile machines when I drove in Formula 1 compared to now.
Right, back of the grid. I mean, there is literally only one direction we can go from here, so try and move forward and see if we can get something out of it. Okay, we're monitoring some wear on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power. VSC deployed. The virtual safety car has been deployed. We need to keep a positive... Okay, we've got a full course caution. The safety car's out. Keep an eye on the delta. We need to keep it positive to avoid a penalty. Slow down, maintain positive delta. Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta's negative, which means you're going too fast. Reduce your pace. you're running low on ERS. Reminder that you can play around with ERS modes in the MFD or lift sometimes and ease onto the brake pedal for some manual recharge. You might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible. Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember there's no overtaking until the timing line. Safety car in this lap. Okay, you're doing well out there. Keep it up. We're looking at about 10 more minutes of rain. 10 minutes. Battery charge is high. Let's use that overtake button a bit more. car behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap. Well done. Okay, mate, let's try and climb up the order if we can. We're setting you a new target. Push, push. Okay, looks like some of those puddles are clearing. We're still definitely on the right tyre for the time being, but we're probably not a million miles away from slick conditions. Good job, nice overtake. Okay, really, really good. You hit that target. Great stuff. It looked like you made easy work of that target. Let's try and keep that going right through to the end of the race. Right, the gap to the teammate ahead of us, 4.1 seconds. Brilliant, nice move, keep going. Are you okay? That was a nasty hit. Turn the engine off and wait for the marshals. Max is in the pits. Max in the pits. The McLaren drivers just completed a pass for the lead of the race. I don't think the line is really dry enough yet to start thinking about slicks. Let's hold on to the inters for a little while longer. Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap. Right, temperatures are vital for tyre wear, as you well know, so please try and keep them in the green.
Away we go, no problems, very smooth. Red Bull will no doubt be very happy with that stop.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.